Hello, my name is TD ASMR. This is going to be my first video, sort of introduction video. First off, a little bit of my ASMR background and experience. I started listening to ASMR in college to help me sleep over a decade ago. It had always been a bit of a problem falling asleep. Even going back when I was a little kid, I would need some sort of low music playing in the background, even if it was just classical or even smooth jazz worked for me back in the day. But it still kind of does, really, sometimes. A bit of my preferences. I like voices. I like soft spoken and whispering. Um, if you have it, if it's a specific voice that works for me, I really focus on those. Some soft singing sometimes. Something that also works is soft tapping. Soft slow tapping. I know there was a trend for a while that it was like ultra fast stuff. That never really did it for me. One example of the tapping that works for me is there's a video from one of the most well-known ASMR artists, Ephemeral Rift, where he just taps wooden blocks with his fingers and then taps them together. And they're just these little wooden blocks that have like letters on them that you would play with when you were a kid or something like that. That video really works for me. And another thing that I experience, I've had some concussion issues in my life, and they may or may not have been a factor, but I also suffer from chronic migraine issues as well. So if, whenever I have a really bad migraine and I need to lie down in a completely dark room, sometimes I'll put on some ASMR to try and calm down, relax, and fall asleep, because sleeping seems to help with that, with migraines. But so that's another reason why I partake in ASMR videos on YouTube. And going back to Ephemeral Rift, he was one of the first channels that I listened to a lot when I was trying to fall asleep. This was 10 years ago. Another channel would be Gentle Whispering, and those two were really, if there is such a thing as a legends in the ASMR community, it's those two are legends in the ASMR community. Those two were really the channels I went back to quite a lot and still do. I would say that the channels that I listen to have, expanded as time's gone along, obviously, because ASMR has exploded a bit, and there's more and more channels going up every day. So, things that work for me, like I said, the soft-spoken stuff, I don't really necessarily care what is being said. It's just the effect of the voice, the low voice, the soft voice, the quiet voice, and the tapping kind of stuff. So if I were to, so I have, on my personal channel, I have a huge playlist of videos that I come back to quite a bit, and if a video's not working one night, I'll just put the playlist on, and it'll just loop basically. So some videos in here, like there's a channel, Frivolous Fox. She has a couple of videos where she puts a wool knit cap over the mic and kind of like slowly moves her hands around it, so it feels like somebody's giving you like a head massage. Those kinds of things help too, because in real life, like that works for me. Um, even by myself, like a subconscious thing, like if I'm feeling stressed out or something like that, I'll find myself kind of like just waving my hand through my hair. But so those kinds of videos work. Going through this, there's also quite a bit of ASMR artists out there who impress me with their creativity and their sense of humor, because I have a very varied sense of humor. I enjoy comedy. If I have to pick like something to watch on Netflix or something, I'd probably go comedy first. So there's a lot of like role plays out there that are pretty funny, like Fred's Voice ASMR and his Rude English Gentleman videos. Those are always really funny, but also the really low deepness of his voice works. I don't know how he can keep that up for 30, 40-minute videos, and maybe an hour, depending on how much editing has to get done. But another channel, Dr. Andrew Michaels. He's here to help you. He's got really funny videos, but he's not. Well, all right. So I don't want to turn this into just me talking about who's funny. Like everybody, I'm gonna say here, I think is good at ASMR, and their videos work for me. So, but Dr. Andrew Michaels has one video where he's trying to buy your soul for ASMR, and it's so funny. I think this guy's channel is Jim5 ASMR. I think it's Jim5. I'm not entirely sure. He's pretty funny, and he also has a pretty relaxing voice as well. Here, oh, and yeah. So I'm literally just scrolling through the playlist right now. I don't have like a script here. I I'm just kind of shooting from the hip, um, and that's mostly gonna be, if I decide to stick with this. So if you're hearing this, it's probably that I'm giving it a go. But my plan is to create a couple of these where I'm just kind of soft speaking and whispering, and see if I think it might be beneficial for others, because that's the whole point of this. All of these channels have helped me over the years. The least I can do is try and pay it forward a little bit. So yeah, if this does stick, it's just mostly gonna be, there's not gonna be any visual stuff. It's just gonna be me softly speaking or whispering into a mic, and ramblings, reading things. Just, but there's one video on this playlist that is actually a good segue into my first experiences of ASMR that I can remember. There was a movie, an old black and white movie that I watched when I was a kid, where there was a psychiatrist or something, and he was trying to hypnotize this person. And I don't buy too much into the hypnotism stuff, but just if you have a soft, relaxing voice, it works. So that really that really kind of put me in a really calm, relaxed mode. Another one that sticks out is in elementary school. I think it was maybe like fourth grade or something like that. But in math class, when students would have to go up to the chalkboard to write on, work out a problem. If it's a quiet classroom and you just hear the slow writing of the chalk on the chalkboard, if it's not screeching, I find that to be pretty relaxing. And then and here's where the segue from what I was looking at comes into play. There's a video from, I believe it's Massage ASMR. He goes by Dimitri. Where it's like a practice exam role play. And that reminded me of precisely a class in high school where test day, it's a quiet room, you hear the noises of pencil writing on paper, and somebody might be tapping their fingers on their wooden desk while they're thinking or something like that. And, every once in a while the teacher gets up and slowly walks around the room to make sure everybody's doing okay, stuff like that. And they would, if somebody has a question, they're whispering and softly speaking to not interrupt or annoy other students who are trying to focus. And that's what the video is. It was like a perfect example of this memory that sticks so clearly in my head that it knocks me out. And then Ephemeral Rift also has a video where the camera's just at foot level, and he just walks back and forth the entire video, and I think you hear like some soft-spoken stuff scattered in there, but mostly it's just him walking back and forth. Some other channels and videos that work for me. So going back to the music, Kiwi Whispers has some piano playing videos that really work for me. Well, here's a channel that Danny Docile. He is hilarious. He has that. I think he lives in Wales, but he has that perfect British humor that I find so funny. Like, I love Monty Python. I love. There's a comedy troupe that does. So I think they started out as like a theater troupe that's like the play that goes wrong. They've done plays. They have a series on Netflix. I think they're pretty big in the UK, but they're funny. They're hilarious. Monty Python's hilarious, and Danny Docile is hilarious. So those are some of the channels that I have in here. A few others. Creative Calm ASMR. She's pretty funny, and she's got a pretty relaxing voice. Articulate Design ASMR. He's got a relaxing voice. ASMR Shanny. Frivolous Fox. Fred's voice. Yeah, so that's just a select few. Maybe I'll do a video where I just go through this list and talk about specific videos and specific channels, but I don't want to get too focused on that for this. This is just kind of a quick intro video. So, like I said before, I don't have some sort of master plan to make this work. I'm probably going to make a couple of videos, see if I think they're quality enough to upload and that people might think it might help people. And if I think they will, I'll probably post them. So if you're hearing this, I probably thought they were all right. I don't particularly enjoy the sound of my voice, but then again, I don't think think many people do. And if they do enjoy the sound of their voice, then they're not the kind of people you want to hear talk. Um, that's my kind of philosophy in that, it's people, you know, there's a quote that lines up with that where it's like people who have closed minds don't have closed mouths to match. But I don't want to get philosophical on you, but so anyway, so plan is make a few of these, see if I think they're quality enough that it will help somebody. You can just relax people. I needed a microphone for something else, and I thought, why not? I have nothing else to do. It's a pandemic, can't go anywhere. I'm fortunate enough to work in an industry that was considered essential, so I was able to stay employed and make a living. And work from home. I consider myself extremely fortunate to be in the position that I am. I don't make a lot of money, but I have a steady income, and I consider that to be extremely lucky, considering everything that's happened. Because I have family and friends that are not in that position and have had to go on unemployment and stuff like that, and people that have had to move out of their places because they couldn't afford to pay the rent. So I'm considering myself extremely lucky to be in the position that I am in, even making a somewhat modest at most living. So I needed a mic for something else and thought, why not try this out, make a couple of videos, see if I think it'll be helpful, and if I think they're quality enough, I'll start posting them and do a few more and see how it goes. So I didn't have really a script for this. I just wanted to do a quick intro. The channel name is going to be TDSAMR. You can call me Thurin. So I just wanted to do a quick intro video for this with a bit of background, ASMR stuff that works for me, some of the channels I listen to, and in the future, I'll probably get back to that playlist again and talk more specifically about channels and videos that I like, and then we'll go from there. But I had looked up previously a monologue from a famous movie because I couldn't remember what exactly the lines were. And so I thought maybe I'll just kind of read this as a way of filling time, so to speak. And, I find dead air quite hilarious, honestly. And I think there is a bit of room for it in ASMR. Obviously, not too much dead air, because then you're just listening to silence. But then again, silence can be quite relaxing. But anyway, so I have, so I looked up that monologue. It's nothing insane. It's like 20 lines. And immediately had to look up another because I remembered another one from the same character in this movie. So I think I'll read through those, and then keeping up with the theme from that, maybe do a couple other soft-spoken, just rambling kind of stuff, and go from there in the video at a certain point. And then if you're listening to this, then I have recorded a couple others. I may or may have not, or may, wait, hang on. I may or may not have, there we go, posted them yet. But if you're listening to this, I most likely have other videos up because I'm not going to post this right away. I'm going to create this, create another two maybe, and see if I think there's a quality to them that it'll help somebody. So anyway, here let me just get into it then. What an incredible Cinderella story. This unknown comes out of nowhere to lead the pack at Augusta. He's on his final hole. He's about 455 yards away. He's going to hit about a 2-iron, I think. Oh, he got all that one. The crowd is standing on its feet here at Augusta. The normally reserved Augusta crowd going wild for this young Cinderella. He's come out of nowhere. He's got about 350 yards left. He's going to hit about a 5-iron, I expect, don't you think? He's got a beautiful backswing. He got all of that one. He's got to be pleased with that. The crowd is just on its feet here. He's the Cinderella boy. Tears in his eyes, I guess, as he lines up this last shot. He's got about 195 yards left. He's got about, looks like he's got about an 8-iron. This crowd has gone deathly silent. The Cinderella story, out of nowhere. A former greenskeeper and now about to become the Masters champion. Looks like a miracle. It's in the hole. It's in the hole. So I jump ship in Hong Kong, and I make my way over to Tibet. And I get on as a looper at a course over there in the Himalayas. A looper, a caddy, a looper, a jock. So I tell him I'm a pro jock, and who do you think they give me? The Dalai Lama himself. 12th son of the Lama. The flowing robes, the grace, bald, striking. So I'm on the first tee with him. I give him the driver. He hauls off and whacks one. Big hitter, the Lama. Long, into a 10,000-foot crevice, right at the base of this glacier. And you know what the Lama says? Gunga, Galunga, Gunga. Gunga, Galunga, Gunga, Gunga, Galunga. So we finish 18, and he's gonna stiff me. And I say, hey Lama, hey, how about a little something, for the effort, And he says, there won't be any money, but when you die, on your deathbed, you will receive total consciousness. So I got that going for me, which is nice. So if you don't know what those two things are from, it's the movie Caddyshack. And they're done by Bill Murray. And I believe both of those were completely improvised by Bill Murray during the movie. But it's a very funny movie. And there are some pretty crazy stories that you hear about from like the cast and crew about stuff that went down while filming that was absolutely crazy. But anyway, so let's just do a little bit more, and then call it quits for this one. I dated a one-legged girl who worked at a brewery. She was in charge of the hops. Why should you never fall in love with a tennis player? To them, love means nothing. What's worse than a lobster on your piano? Crabs on your organ. What do you call a nun who walks in her sleep? A Roman Catholic. Why did the cheese not want to get sliced? Because it had greater plans. How do you find Will Smith in the snow? You look for the Fresh Prince. What do you call a blind deer? No idea. Did you hear about the man who stole a calendar? He got 12 months. What do you call a blind deer with no legs? Still no idea. I deleted all the German contacts. I deleted all the German contacts from my phone. It's Hans-free. What do you call a person with no body and no nose? Nobody knows. What do you call a fat psychic? A fortune teller. What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. What kind of bees make milk? Boobies. Grow up. I've been reading a book about anti-gravity. I can't put it down. Why did the scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in the field. What do you call a pony with a sore throat? A little horse. All right, just a couple more. What do you call an alligator wearing a vest? An investigator. And finally, I went to the bank today, and this old lady asked me to help her check her balance. So I pushed her over. Okay, so those are just some jokes that I've heard or seen from other people and online. I don't take credit for any of those. So that's it for this video. Just a brief intro with my ASMR experience, and then just some soft-spoken whispering kind of stuff. So if you're hearing this, please be sure to check out the other videos that I'll be posting. If they if you enjoyed the video, if it helped you relax or anything like that, which I hope it did, um, you know, feel free to leave a comment or like or subscribe, whatever you want. Like I said, this isn't going to be anything major. So um, if it worked for you, if you were relaxed, if it helped you calm down or helped you get ready to get to sleep, then that's all that matters. So thanks for watching, or really thanks for listening, and have a good night.